Alright, welcome back to Rob's Garage Woodworking. Today we are going to replace this outlet with one of these that has the USB chargers in it. So it's a Decora outlet. I just replaced this to Decora outlets, but this one has the USB. So after I finish changing these, my wife of course says, "Hey, I know how you like to do everything twice. Why don't you get one with the USB ports in it?" And then I thought, hey, that is actually a good idea. So the benefit of having one of these with the USB ports in it is because normally you have your USB charger. So you have your USB charger and it's in there, and then you can only use the one outlet. So if you have this out, you plug your USB directly in here into this switch, then you still have the two outlets available. Let's unscrew these guys here. Alright, since I just recently changed this, I numbered this, so I know this is on breaker number 7. So I'm going to go downstairs and check breaker number 7. Now, there's a couple of different testers that you can get. I really like these testers. It's nice and simple. When you plug the leads in, it just glows, right? This one here is really important for when you're done, that you're checking everything so that everything's wired properly. So you need one of these for sure. But this one is good because you can open your box and you can look around and you can move the leads so you can touch different areas and test. All right. So right off the bat, I'm going to plug this in and not getting any reading. Just like this one, no lights at all. Nothing going on. So we are going to remove just the outlets. Okay. So we're going to take this outlet out. So we have the two black wires there. And we have on the other side, we have the white wires. So the white wire is around the silver one. And we have our ground. So we're going to remove our grounds. And remove that. Remove this. So basically we're going to unscrew this until it stops. Alright, and I just find it's helpful if you have a small straight screwdriver to just kind of pry these open, as they are put in a nice circle. I'll break this by the time I get it untangled here. There we go. This one and this one. Come on. There we go. Again, what we're going to do is just try to open up the wiring here with this slotted screwdriver. And grab it with the needle nose and remove it that way. See how they have this nice pigtail around. In your kitchen, quite often you'll have a kitchen split, and there'll be like a red here and a black here, and this guy here, this tab will be broken off. So if you have a kitchen split on your new one, make sure you break off the tab on the copper side and put your black and your red right there. And the white will be common, so there'll probably only be one white wire. Alright, so that's the return wire. Sorry, here we are. So the white will be common, so that's the silver, and you leave that tab there. That'll be common, that's your return wire, okay? And then of course your ground is your ground, it's green. It's pretty obvious. Alright, so luckily, this is kind of what I was wondering, if this outlet was going to have the ability to do a kitchen split or not, and it doesn't. It only has room for your black wire and your white wire, and that's it. So the two black wires here, I'm going to have to pigtail together and run another one to this. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll make this around 6 inches. So we're going to strip the end. Almost an inch. And we're going to have to take these. Unfortunately, we're going to have to cut them even shorter. Okay, because those are going to break if we use those again. So, strip that. Strip this. Maybe 3/4 of an inch, roughly. Take our extra piece of wire that we salvaged from some more wire that we have. We are going to twist these three together. So, use a pair of lineman's pliers, grab them and twist. And it's a little tricky at first, but get a good grip, twist them, roll them around, okay, and make it nice and tight, and then we're going to trim this off. It's going to be, I don't know, same width as the front of the lineman's pliers. And this is called a marette. These ones I was put on to by an electrician friend of mine. These are can twists from Ideal, and he calls them the blue twisties. Anyway, they're just really good marettes, so I use these all the time. And what you do is you just twist it on. Oh, by the way, twist it clockwise, right? When you make this, you twist it clockwise, right? Because the threads of this have to be clockwise. So you turn this on, and you crank this on until it pretty much stops. It'll get really tight. You don't want to strip it, but it makes threads on those three wires. So it's a mechanical and electrical connection. And so what we're going to do is we're going to push these back in here. We're going to tuck these in behind the other outlet. Because this one's quite large. This outlet's really deep. So I'm going to move these over behind the other outlet. And this is really straightforward. So we want the black wire goes to the copper looking one. Tighten that up a little bit. This one has little spots for your wire to stick into. So we'll tighten this one. Good. Make sure this is really snug. Okay. And then the white wire, same thing. Remember the direction of your wire here. You're turning it clockwise. So you're going to make your wire in here clockwise too, your loops. So let's just close that. Tighten her up a little bit. Okay. Alright. So we're going to tighten that up. Make sure it's snug. Make sure the wire is underneath these fully. Make sure the insulation isn't underneath. So the insulation is outside of that. There. in here nice and snug. So you gotta put the ground on that, which is kind of a pain in the butt. So we're gonna pre-bend these wires. I'll try to sneak that back in there, right? And then put this ground on. It's gonna be hard to show the ground, so I'm just gonna do it. There we go. Make sure your ground wire's in all the way around, under the screw, nice and snug. Okay, and then move the ground wire to the bottom when you're putting this in, because you don't want the ground wire to come in contact. You don't want your ground wire here to come in contact with any of these, right? So move those out of the way. Now we are going to put these screws in. All right. Now, test fit this to make sure that that fits nicely, looks good. All right, so just make those snug, and I try to line mine up perfectly. So they're straight up and down, they all line up. All right, so we're gonna turn the breaker back on, see how we did. All right, so my light is on and working. And where did our fancy tester go? So the fancy tester, it tells you all of your different lights. These two gold ones should be on. That means it's good. If there's one or the other, or the red one comes on, so if it's just a single one or a red, that's a problem. So let's plug this in. These two are on, perfect. Top one will be the same, but you got to check anyway. Those two are on, perfect. So I can take the USB off and plug my USB connector in, like so. Speed up old charger that I got, plug it in, and it's charging. So, perfect. Works. Let's check the other side. Charging is off. Plug it in. Charging is on. Perfect. Alright, so when you install this, it's very straightforward for most applications, like if you have a bedroom or whatever. Sometimes you'll have two wires coming in. You're going to have to run a third conductor off of that. So you're going to have to take the two wires that are there, put them together like I did here with a third wire, okay? Pigtail that out so that it comes into just the single, because this one only had the single connector on it, right? One for the white and one for the black. So, pretty simple. You use your Marrettes for that. And if you're in a kitchen, you have a kitchen split, you have the black wire and the red wire that are both hot. So you can put this in, but you're going to have to take either the black wire or the red wire and take one of them, cut the loop off it, strip it back, say like not quite a centimeter, like 1/4 inch, right? 1/4 inch, just slightly less than a centimeter. Put your Marrette on it and tighten that up and just push that back into the box, and that's perfectly safe. It's perfectly acceptable by code. And then you would just have either your black or your red to the one connector on the side, to the copper one, and then your white would go to the silver one on the side, and that's for this one here. Okay, so it's really simple to do. If you're a little bit confused, that's fine, perfectly acceptable. Hire an electrician to put it in, unless you have like a really handy friend that can kind of show you how to do it. You are technically allowed to do your own electricity in your house. But I can't do electricity in your house because I'm not a licensed electrician. But currently you are allowed to do your own electrical work in your own house, but it has to pass code. So I'm not changing anything here. That'll pass code. And, if you're concerned, definitely hire a professional. Bring in a real licensed electrician, and it's a very simple thing to do, and he'll be in and out in 5 minutes. And, it might cost you $100, but what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? So anyway, I hope this has helped you out. Even if you don't do it yourself, I hope it has explained how it's done. And I hope you understood what I meant by, the kitchen splits and, the traditional outlets. I tried to explain it. It's a little more difficult when you don't have the experience or the education in it. And which I have a bit of both, even though I'm not actually licensed. But anyway, it's electricity is not like terribly difficult, but you have to follow codes. Codes are there for your personal safety, so your house doesn't catch on fire. They're very important, so you got to follow code all the time, no matter what you do. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching.